conversation with Cardinal Dolan ahead of mission to help Ukraine. In an in-depth interview with Vatican News in Rome, the Archbishop of New York discusses the war in Ukraine ahead of his imminent visit to help refugees on borders, violence, and protecting life. After not having been in Eternal City for 25 months due to the pandemic, Cardinal Timothy Dolan also discusses the resonance of Pope Francis' appeals throughout the United States, and praises New York's Latinos as being the heart and life of the Church. Cardinal Timothy Dolan, Archbishop of New York, is stopping through Rome on his way to the Ukrainian border nations of Poland in his capacity as chair of the Catholic Near East Welfare Association, CNUA. During his travel to Rome, for the first time since the outbreak of the pandemic, he sat down with Vatican News to discuss his upcoming visit to meet with suffering Ukrainian refugees. Since the outbreak of the war, more than 5 million Ukrainians have been forced to flee their homes and millions more have been displaced within the country. In this interview, he discusses whether the war and whether he is fearful it may expand, as well as the power of Pope Francis' appeals for peace and how the Pope's voice resounds across the United States. He also tells Vatican News about the upsurge in violence in New York, especially in the wake of the pandemic, reflects on how abortion legislature is changing throughout the country, the beautiful faith of New York's Hispanics, and his hopes this Easter season. Pope Francis' moral voice resounds in United States. Q. What value, Cardinal Dolan, do you give Pope Francis' appeals for peace? They've had tremendous value. First of all, they've gotten a lot of coverage in the United States. The Pope's moral voice has been very strenuous and very effective. And you know what? I think he's been part of helping the world discover that this is a moral issue, one of oppression of vulnerable people, of an abuse of power, of unprovoked and illicit use of violence and military force. He's helped us understand this. Pope Francis has an understanding that this is cultural, not just economic. It's not just about land. The people of Ukraine have a proud, vibrant culture that even though some of it is shared with its neighboring countries, including Russia, it's independent, autonomous, historic, deeply ingrained, and it cannot be crushed or taken over by any other culture. Even if that culture says you're the same as us, we're absorbing you, drop it.